So, the lesson for today is to learn from others and embrace knowledge. And what I mean by this is that typically, yes, all inventions and breakthroughs come from an individual that's pursued something heavily and finally had a breakthrough, if you will. They've made a new discovery. But it's very rare, if at all, that going from a simple breakthrough in terms of a discovery or a scientific invention leads to the end product, something that's usable for people, something that's, an end goal. That comes from collaboration and effectively shared knowledge, group knowledge. People looking at it from the outside with no knowledge, people from the inside with knowledge but experience in different areas, and simply people that are working on the exact same problem and have the same mindset but come up with different answers. And the hindrance that we have in progression, I think, boils down mostly to our egos, or our big-headedness, or our stubbornness, or our shyness to accept when we're wrong. And as I mentioned, all kind of great inventions have come from really a collaboration, whether forced or accidental, from multiple people. And it's trying to really embrace that style of learning and progression in your career. So as a software developer, what that means is if you invent some new code or some new language or some new pattern, and you've worked heavily on it for years, and you feel now you're confident in that area, and you are the lead figure of the invention of this piece of code, then as well as being confident in what you've done, because that's important, if somebody comes along with much less experience and points out that there's something wrong with your code or it wouldn't work due to this reason, the first thing that most people will do is to simply get offended and say, you're wrong, you don't know anything, and the rants begin. It's that kind of way of handling that information. Instead, what you should do, and what I try to do heavily all the time, is to always embrace the knowledge of others, whether you feel they have less knowledge than you, more knowledge than you, and listen to what they're saying. So if you've invented something and someone's come along and said, that's wrong, don't take offense. Read it from just a flat ground. Don't take any opinion or personal impact from that. Read what the issue is, and then if there is an issue, you should be able to prove there's an issue, or if there isn't an issue, you should be able to disprove it. But the point that you should take from that is to work with that person. Don't go and insult the person that's pointed out a problem. Work with them on solving that problem, and then thank them for helping you either progress your understanding or simply identify why something is and why somebody might have thought it was a problem in the first place. And on the same side, the person that's typically with the lesser knowledge, which is what most people that feel the learning are, we always feel like we're the lesser person, if you will. There's people that we feel are above us in knowledge. So we feel that people with more knowledge will know more, and that we can't ask them questions because we'll sound stupid, or we can't work with them, or we couldn't ever possibly help them out with what they're doing because we don't have that knowledge. And that is just as much untrue. People with the lesser knowledge look at things completely differently, and that's how you learn in the first place. When you have no idea how something works, you ask those simple fundamental questions. Once you've used something for so long, or you've understood something a while, you stop asking those basic questions, and you stop even thinking about them or understanding them and effectively knowing what they do. And then when other problems come along, you've forgotten that knowledge. So really, the only way to make a great product or a great invention is through collaboration of multiple people with multiple different minds, thoughts, patterns, behaviors, and personalities, and working in a team where you will equally respect each other and you don't take offense to what they're saying. And a perfect example was in my last video, I mentioned Edison inventing the light bulb, and one of the guys commented quite rightly that he didn't invent the light bulb, and it's a moot point in a sense. It's an invention. It depends what you mean by light bulb. It depends what you mean by invented. But the point is, no one person invented the light bulb. It was a collaboration, whether they were knowingly collaborating or not. But it was a collaboration of many people, many breakthroughs, many inventions, and that would have been invented and solved a long time ago if it wasn't for egos. So you simply read up on Edison and Swan and the light bulb, you will see that there was a lot of ego and stubbornness involved before it led to the ultimate merging of the two to come out with the final product. If they hadn't had the ego in the first place and they'd have worked directly with each other and wanted to work together and respected each other, more so, then that would have been a better environment. So the basic take-home message is to embrace knowledge of others and work with them. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to contact them and work directly, but embrace other people's codes and comments and give credits where credit's due. So if you use somebody else's code, don't feel like you have to pretend you've made something or invented something. Be honest that you've learned something from somebody else and share the knowledge and share the credits with them as well. So that's really all I wanted to state in this video. I've also got now, I don't know whether people want them, I've got cool little mouse mats made. So I've got Angel 6 mouse mats. I've had these made, they're gaming spec mouse mats, so they're really efficient. They're very smooth, so you can see here on my desk as one of them. So basically, if you want one of those, just let me know. I've got 25 at the moment that I'm going to just give away to people that comment that they want one. So if you want a mouse mat, just let me know, give me a good reason why, and I'll get you one sent out for free. Whew, this thing weighs a ton.